landscape.
Mm-hmm. What kind of landscape is there?
Like a rolling hills.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Sun, maybe like a morning, like dawn.
Yes. What does the observer look like? Look down. Do you have a body there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Describe it for me.
It's like sandals, or it looks kind of
Say that again.
like sandals,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, or I feel a little heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Male.
Male. Mm-hmm. Are you young or old?
I'm not sure. I
If you were
don't
to
know.
guess.
40s.
40s. Very good. What else do you notice about yourself?
It's my place.
It's your place.
I feel like it's my, and I, like it's land I work, it's land um, I'm responsible for.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So I'm going to count from 3. When I get to number 3, you'll see yourself working this land. 1, 2, and 3. You're there now.
Younger,
Mm-hmm.
15.
Yes.
It's my family.
Mm-hmm. Is this your family's land?
Yes.
Yes. What is it that you do? What is your responsibility there?
Maintain the growth of the crops.
Mm-hmm. What kind of crops do you grow on your land?
There's wheat,
Mm-hmm.
and there is corn. We have a small area that has crops for every, like you would have for every meal. And there
Mm-hmm.
are crops that we sell to be able to maintain the land,
Yes.
and that
How do you
we
feel about what it
we
is that you do?
pride,
Mm-hmm.
and it's part of the passing down that knowledge to the next generation.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me about your role there on this place, on your land?
Just an awareness, just an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
It's not written or spoken of, it's just woven in the tapestry, how
Yes.
we naturally communicate to each other, and it's an understanding.
Mm-hmm. Let's find out a little bit more about your home life and your family. I'm going to count to 3. When I get to number 3, you'll be at your home with your family to get the dynamics. 1, 2, and 3. You're there now.
I'm walking up to the door of the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wooden door,
Yes.
and there's a smell of cooking. Everybody contributes. I'm going in to wash up and help.
Yes.
We're happy. Everyone's happy.
How many people are in your family?
Or
Mm-hmm.
my mother is cooking. She's very beautiful. She's admirable,
Mm-hmm.
strong, and everything flows when she's around. She's good at organizing and maintaining.
Take a moment and look into her eyes, the eyes of the window to the soul. Do you recognize those eyes?
Yes, she is my mother now.
Mm-hmm. What about the other family members?
My brother, and I have a little sister,
Mm-hmm.
and we all work together.
Look into their eyes. Do they seem familiar to you?
Yeah, my brother is a cousin,
Mm-hmm.
and my sister is my sister.
Very good. Is your father at home?
No,
What's happened to your father?
he's away.
Mm-hmm.
He has to, he has important meetings, and he's taken like, manifest.
Mm-hmm.
He's taken the manifest to, I think, a dock or a port
Yes.
where grain
Mm.
goes to different places. And he's gone to take care of those arrangements.
Very good. And when your father's away, what is your responsibility with your family?
I'm the man of the house.
Mm-hmm.
I maintain and work the land and watch over and make sure everything stays in balance.
Yes. And what do they call you in that lifetime? What name do you go by?
Joshua,
Mm-hmm. Very good. So Joshua, I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, you'll be at a moment in your life there in which something important is happening. 1, 2, and 3. You're there now. Notice how old you are now.
25.
Mm-hmm. What's happening?
I've taken the lead,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I see like a ship on fire and change, and concerned because we have things, we have arrangements that have to be met, and there's responsibility in that. And I feel very responsible. And I
Are,
have to make different plans because the way we worked things originally has to change. Plans change.
mm-hmm. Were your crops on that ship?
Yes,
Mm-hmm. So what happens next?
I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I'm looking for ways to work out the system. And
Mhm.
I'm confused. I'm looking at the way my family has operated successfully, and I feel like I'm going to fail.
Mhm. And notice when you feel like you're going to fail, What are your physical reactions?
I internalize. I have a pit in my stomach.
Mm-hmm. And when you have that pit in your stomach, what are the emotional reactions?
Like I'm letting everybody down.
Mm-hmm.
Not just my family, but others that work with me.
Yes. And when you feel like you've let everybody down, how does your body react to that besides having that pit in the stomach?
I just feel frozen, like I
Mm-hmm.
can't move. Like I just don't know how to work around it.
Mm-hmm.
I know I can, but I just can't see a way around.
Yes. So think about all of these things. When you feel like you're going to fail, you feel that pit in your stomach, feel like you're letting everybody down, you're frozen. How is all of that now affecting you in the life as Brenda? What does it make you do?
Breathe.
Hmm.
I lock up.
And when you freeze and lock up, what does that prevent you from doing?
Moving forward. Finding a
Hmm.
way.
Yes. So let's find a little bit more about you, Joshua. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, you'll move forward to the next moment in that life that's important, that's poignant to you. 1. Where are you?
I'm holding my son. And I have a beautiful son.
Hmm. How old is your son?
He's an infant.
Excuse me?
He's an infant.
He's an infant. So this is an important moment.
There's
Oh.
pride and
Mm-hmm.
the recognition of creation, perseverance, and release. It's like you know what you're going to get to pass on
Yes.
that info, that
And that's
information.
important for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Advance a little bit more.
We have a larger house. We have evolved,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a sense of peace, and there's a different way that we maintain and operate.
Mm-hmm.
I learned when something burns, it can actually help you to grow.
Mm-hmm. How is that?
It's liberating.
Mm-hmm.
And the way my family works, the land connects to people. If we had not seen that level of devastation, we would not have been able to connect to a new way of doing things
Mm-hmm.
that created the abundance.
Very good. So let's close this scene. I'd like for you to move forward to another moment that's important. Count to 3. When I get to number 3, you'll be there. 1, 2, and 3. You're there now.
I'm back looking at the land in my
Mhm.
40s,
Yes.
and I'm proud, solid, and just at peace.
Very good. Joshua, I'm going to count to 3, and you'll be in the last day of your life in that lifetime. 1, 2, and 3. You're there now.
In bed,
How old are you there?
60s.
What's going on with your body?
My stomach.
Tell me about that.
It doesn't work normally anymore.
Yes.
I'm surrounded by family. And
Take a look at all of them.
pain.
Look at. They don't want to see me go. How does that make you feel?
Like I'm letting them down.
What happens next?
I recognize how proud of them I am. And I'm sorry that I have to go. But I can't stand the pain. I have to go. I don't want to be there anymore. It hurts.
Yes. So allow that body to finally find peace. Release that soul from that body. And notice what happens.
Lifting up above my body, I'm just kind of floating there. I get to be with them, but I don't feel the pain.
Very good. And how long do you spend with them, Joshua?
Feels like days. I still get to be with them, but I don't hurt. I want to make sure they're okay.
Yes. And at what point do you finally go to the light?
I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
So what do you do?
I keep avoiding it.
What happens next?
I'm determined not to go. And there is a friend there who wants me to go with them, and I don't want to go. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave.
You. So what do you do in order to stay?
I just keep backing away. I don't want to go. And I'm angry.
Yes. What happens next?
Stay there. I don't go. And I stay there. I don't want to go.
Point, do you meet Brenda?
There's a point where there's a part of me there. They just can't take it all. It's
Yes.
like a residual layer.
Yes. So let me ask you, Joshua, Do you ever go to the light?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But that land, is that the same land in which Brenda is right now?
No.
No.
No. This is
The land where you were?
different.
This is different. Okay.
Different land.
Different land. Very good. So when you go to the light, finally, Joshua, what do your guides tell you about that lifetime? What did you need to learn?
Determination and thriving.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And do you feel you did that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how is it that that lifetime is affecting the lifetime now that you're living as Brenda?
Determination.
Mm-hmm.
And learning not to force.
Mm-hmm.
Just allow.
Yeah. Very good.
And even though there are aspects that are falling away, it's okay to keep looking for a different path, a different way.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be monotonous. It's not meant to be.
Yeah. So she is at a moment in time right now in which she is on hold. What do you tell her about this moment?
Look for the pattern. Look for the pattern.
Mhm.
Pattern recognition
Yes.
to see the flow
Mm-hmm.
and to have a recognition of a pattern. It helps you to flow into the next phase.
So we're talking about patterns of her life, of how things happen.
Yes, and
Mm-hmm.
also where there is a falling away, it is also an opening up.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are focused more on the opening up and the flow, you bring your focus into a broader periphery, broader reference of how patterns and synchronicity work.
Yes. Very good. So it seems that in the lifetime that she is living now, she has some connection to the natives, the Native American, whether it be with the land, with her ancestors, with her DNA. And I want you to just allow yourself to go into that void as I count from 1 to 3. When I get to number 3, allow yourself to be at a point in time in which you recognize the connections. 1, the connections of the Native Americans. 2, and 3, you're there now. What's the first thing you notice? Where are you?
Moving on the land,
Mm-hmm.
feeling my feet as I walk,
Yes.
and being at one with nature.
Mm-hmm. Are you male or female there?
Male.
Mm-hmm. And where is it that you're walking to and from?
Um, it's a season change,
Mm-hmm.
and the tribe moves.
Okay.
I'm
What
part
is
of
your responsibility in the tribe when you
uh,
move?
I'm a part of the party that goes ahead and gathers, hunts, scouts, and
Mm-hmm.
is aware of everything. So there's a natural flow into the area with my people.
Very good. What happens next?
I am looking for their next place that everyone can settle and rest
Mhm.
on the
Yes.
journey.
Yes.
It takes many days to go to the next location.
Hmm.
So there's a space in between that we find to rest, regenerate, and enjoy the space and environment as we move to our seasonal location.
Are there any dangers that you find along the way?
Always.
Hmm.
We don't see them as dangers, they are just a part of the flow.
Okay, very good. So I'm going to count from 1 to 3. I'd like for you to move forward to an important time in that lifetime when something impacts you. 1, 2, and 3. You're there now. What's happening?
I'm on top of a butte,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lookout point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting and observing, looking at everything from a higher vantage point.
Yes.
And
What happens next?
I'm at the edge and I fall. So a long way down.
Mm-hmm. What happens to your body?
I don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
My
Oh,
body is broken.
your body is broken. So I'd like for you to take your soul and talk to those that didn't know what happened to you. Who would like to talk to?
My mother,
Mm-hmm. Talk to her. Explain to her what happened.
I'm sorry. I feel like it's a stupid mistake
Mm-hmm.
that I could have cost everyone their life.
Yes. What
There's
does
an
she say?
intricate design in the tribe. Every part relies on the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell her that I have failed.
Mm-hmm. What does she say to you?
She tells me she loves me.
Mm-hmm. Ask her if she feels that you have failed.
She understands the intricate design
Mm-hmm.
and responsibility and accountability to each command
Yeah.
and placement. And she loves me, and I am forgiven, but she knows that I failed.
Mm-hmm. So go round up the others that relied on you and speak to them. What do you say to them?
That I'm sorry. I was watching, but I didn't get to finish. I failed.
What do they tell you?
They tell me uh, they say it is okay.
Mm-hmm.
They show me the symbol of a white bison.
Mm-hmm. The white bison represents
Peace.
peace. Mm-hmm. Given you, and those that relied on you have presented you with peace. Can you forgive yourself for making that mistake? Find it within you to pull out that heaviness, that burden of failure. This stone is very, very heavy for you to carry. And if you do not release it now, you will be affecting all of your ancestors. It will be affecting every lifetime as you carry that burden of failure. Are you willing to release it now?
Oh, I'm at the edge of water,
Mm-hmm.
and this stone, I'm throwing it in the water.
Wonderful. And as you throw it in the water, I want you to feel everything that you have released within yourself. Let it go.
My body is at peace.
Mm-hmm. And now that the body is at peace, the soul is at peace, I want you to take your energy and piece that body together once again. Piece your soul and take it into the light, knowing that with the death of that body, that experience is over. You have let go of the burden of failure, and you don't need to bring it to any other lifetime with you. Let it go. And as you go into the light, you will be met by those that have guided you. What do they tell you about that lifetime?
Pain of experience.
Mm-hmm. Why was it necessary?
To understand the spectrum of connectedness.
Mm-hmm. And how is that now affecting the soul in the life as Brenda?
When I go into the forest, I have a fear.
Mm-hmm.
As I enter in to a different area, a new land, there's an anxiety that I'm not going to be able to complete
Mm-hmm.
or hold myself responsible or accountable for my role.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm going to have something happen that I can't complete my task.
Very good. Now you see your soul has made a decision about what it means to complete a task. And I want to ask you, was that decision made by you or by someone else?
Me,
Mm-hmm. Is it true any longer
mm,
that you will fail?
no,
No. So take a moment now and declare it. I used to believe that, but it's not true anymore.
Ebb and flow and at one
Mhm.
in all things.
Yes. So now that you understand, I want you to make a new decision about moving forward into the forest, moving forward into a new endeavor. You no longer are carrying that stone of failure that you put around yourself, that you held for so long. You can now go into the forest, into a new endeavor with lightness, with eagerness. So I'm going to take you to a moment in which you are going to do that. And you will see who will meet you in that forest now that the stone has been lifted. 1, 2, and 3. Who's there waiting for you in the forest?
Yana,
Mm-hmm. Tell me more.
she's a guide.
Mm-hmm.
She's so excited.
Yes. What does she tell you?
She's just talking about how many adventures and all of the new places to go and
Mm-hmm.
see.
Yes.
She's so excited.
So it seems right now that this soul is in a holding pattern, but the guide is excited. What do you tell Brenda about the new adventures that are ahead of her?
It's okay to feel, uh, to not be numb or to minimize the excitement. It's okay to look at something in awe and wonder
Mhm.
and be okay with any outcome.
This numbing of herself, did it begin in this lifetime or a different lifetime?
A different lifetime.
Was it the one of the native or a different one?
A different one.
All right. Let's find out a little bit about that so we can clear that one. I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1. With each number, find yourself dropping into that lifetime, experiencing it. 3, 2, and 1. You're there now. What's happening?
Mhm.
What is it?
It's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
It's like stone buildings, tall, like Parthenon,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is vibrant. Their colors are every every shade. I don't think I've ever seen so many colors.
Mm-hmm. I want you to take a moment and understand if you are on planet Earth or somewhere else.
Feels like somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
and
Tell me about this
yet
place.
it feels like it connects to the earth in some way. We are
Mm-hmm.
a people of high vibration.
Yes. What do
We
you look like? as a high vibrational being.
Very large.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Female,
Yes.
and very, I can't even process what this is.
Mm-hmm. Do the best that you could. Just keep talking about it.
Very tall. We
Mm.
look human,
Yes, you look human, but you're large.
large, very
Mm.
large,
Yes.
and very large. Wow. Uh,
Is everything
uh,
large where you are, or
yeah,
just the people? Mm-hmm.
everything.
Yes.
Our buildings, our everything is
Mm.
big. It's big. Our mountains are, and also our minds. We're telepathic, and
Yes.
we we have a totally different range of emotion
Mm-hmm.
and
Tell me about that.
understanding.
Mm-hmm.
We don't calibrate like a human does in the emotional sphere. We have a different organizational pattern due to the spectrum of energy that we have flow through our bodies and our environment. There is a lot of light.
Mm-hmm.
We produce a lot of light based on our natural synchrometry to our space and
Yes.
time. We harness
Is your light used also for communication?
yes.
Mm-hmm. In what
It,
way?
energy is energy. It is
Mm-hmm.
all encompassing.
Yes.
And when you are communicating to another or signaling, the frequencies connect to others in that form
Mm-hmm.
as a signal. And it's all understood in what you might call a millisecond, a millimoment. It is instantaneous, a flash.
Yes.
It's efforting to try to put into words this kind of
So,
signal.
so as you're there, connect with your emotions. How are you feeling in this place?
Dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
There's only source and there's only knowing. There
Mm-hmm.
only is.
Yes.
And when you operate on that level to try to filter into a basic emotion is to try to pinpoint a fraction in the spectrum, a fractal.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Let's find out a little bit about how it is that you are connected to the earth. I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and that information will flow. 1, 2, and 3.
Ascension.
Yes, continue.
Our energy is to help Earth ascend,
Mm-hmm.
in many respects, Gaia,
Yes.
and then her participants flows through the Earth and then out into the population, the flora, the fauna, the
Mm-hmm. Very good.
inhabitants.
The inhabitants of the planet also.
Yes.
Very good. So let's move forward to see happen to you that affects the soul that is living as Brenda? I'm going to count from 1 to 3. Advance a little bit more. 1, 2, 3. What happens?
Can you clarify the question?
Let's see how it is that your lifetime is affecting the life as Brenda. I'm going to move forward and get to something in that life that has affected you, that has numbed the emotions. 1, 2, and 3.
The frequencies she carries
Mm-hmm.
do not always synchronize or harmonize to her space and time.
Mm-hmm. Can you elaborate on that, please?
It is difficult for her to manifest a comfortable passing from one moment on the spectrum to another. Many times she, in her thoughts, patterns, and environment, will be out of sync with the experience around her.
Mm-hmm.
And she will try to speak, but it will not be heard. She will try to act, and it will not be accepted. And there is a break in the line.
What is causing this to be out of sync?
In some ways, she's meant to be out of sync. When you
Mm-hmm.
when you pose an idea, you create a space of adjustment. And there is a process that takes place just by putting that droplet into the environment. It allows the space to rework so that it can comprehend, understand, and assimilate the new patterns.
Mm-hmm.
This rub or out of sync quality of energy is needed to create a new thinking process, a new awareness, much like she looked at the ship burning.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It is a fractal, a fraction, an intersection point that creates the next scape so that the environment can adjust and grow.
So is she in that moment right now where she feels that she is kind of on hold? She's in
Yes,
the in between.
it is her nature to know ahead in advance and see the patterns. She is good at taking the higher perspective to see beyond, much like she did in the Indigenous life, and
Mm-hmm.
much like she did looking over the land into the ports, into the water and the ocean.
Yes.
There's a broader perspective that she holds. The challenge for her right now is holding neutral because of all of her experiences. She tries to see the pattern, connect to the pattern to create the flow. What is being experienced is broader than what she is understanding in this space, time, and awareness.
Mm-hmm.
There is a new energy coming in that she too must assimilate into her environment so that she can maneuver forward, bringing these codes, frequencies, and light into the next phase of growth.
Where is this energy coming from?
Guidepost. We
Mm-hmm.
are a group of workers that work to assimilate these patterns behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really not behind the scenes at all if you step out and look beyond the veil. We're right there.
Mm-hmm. And where is this group from?
We are all over. but we connect as light.
Mm-hmm.
Many who discuss light see light in as guides, as counsels, as way showers.
Mm-hmm.
We are the light, we are the one, we are all.
And this one that is on that planet that is so large, how is she connected with the soul named Brenda? What is her connection? Is it the same soul?
In a sense, yes. This is
Mm-hmm.
somewhat challenging to explain.
Is it an oversoul?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
best explained that way.
Okay.
The calibrations can be complex.
Mm-hmm. And when she speaks light language, she's unfamiliar with some of the dialects that are coming through. Would you explain that for her?
She's the pattern of synchronicity in the form of light code, light language, as it is called,
Yes.
a pure soul form of communication brought in from many collectives into the space, time, and awareness that is experienced in her existence now. And her disconnect into each collective is only because she is anchored into the one we speak of.
Mm-hmm.
Us. That is her true dialect.
Mm-hmm. And where does that come from?
We are the ones closest to source.
Mm-hmm. Is that an angelic?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about that. How is it that you're communicating through her?
When she agreed to come into this life,
Mm-hmm.
she carried with her seeds to which we are assisting those seeds now. And as her human form evolves, these seeds open and grow exponentially, connecting back to the phrase all is one.
Mm-hmm. What do
There
the
is,
seeds, what do the seeds contain?
they contain synthesized codes and ascension waves and patterns that emanate and undulate into the environment at large.
Mm-hmm.
All of the inhabitants, all of the energies, everything that connects into everything, that connects into everything, that becomes one. That is who we are, and that is the experience beginning to take place as the new energies unfold in Earth, as you would call the age of Aquarius. There is a space allowing for the nurturing and growth in this form. It is an expanded state of awareness that comes with this energy. It is larger than can be processed, and
Mm-hmm.
also hold while we
Mm-hmm.
harmonize.
Yes, please.
Rukna tarina tena kasata we.
What is it that you are harmonizing in her body now?
The ability to translate the
Would you
understanding
would you
is
repeat that, please? I was disconnected for a moment.
the ability to communicate
Mm,
in a way that is understood by the population
yes.
in this form. This is a very large energy that, when put into a body in this magnitude, can have an uncomfortable effect on it.
Mhm,
This would be noticed in the electronic environment,
yes.
in the ability to physically process in this environment. There's an access point to which the energy coming into this body can become quite charged, allowing for disruption in the natural frequencies
Mhm,
and processes that this form experiences, this uh, being Brenda
mhm,
experiences. She would go through uh, what she would term convulsions
mhm.
as
And
a,
she's told me about these head events and her cloudy vision. Does that have anything to do with all of this calibration that you're doing with the energy?
the head events. Yes, the
Mm,
cloudy eyes are more for her physical form
what's
and
happening?
nature to work through. There's an ancestral pattern in relationship to this.
Hmm.
And this feature is a part of her DNA
Okay.
that is brought from generation to generation.
Hmm.
There's a break in this form, this pattern within her system.
Hmm.
We can help with this if you wish.
All right. Would it be beneficial to bring in her ancestors to assist with this?
Yes.
All right, very good. So I'd like to formally ask for all of the that have been affected by this, both on the mother's side and the father's side, going back as many generations as we need in order to harmonize and clear her DNA of anything that shouldn't be there any longer. How many have stepped forward?
Well,
12, very good. Is there one of them that would like to step forward and give their story?
this is her Celtic side,
Mhm,
connecting back into forms of monuments that would be megalithic.
mhm. Yes.
There was a time when vision wasn't needed and form was simply understood.
Mhm.
belief systems shifted and forced this particular population to adjust in the dark. The ability to process in all forms of light were affected. The DNA shifted to adapt. And
Are
so
we ready to prepare that now?
yes.
All right, very good. So I'd like to request for assistance on this one from those that are at the highest level to begin to repair that piece of DNA that's going through the entire lineage regarding the site.
Mm.
What's happening?
We are light. We are one. We are utilizing all forms of spectrum
Mhm.
to repair and enhance the vision and capacity in the head to assimilate all patterns, all forms of light, spectrum, vibration.
Let me know when it is done.
Daishaina taraki kikina tahara tahora. Dara korotayana tayana tatayana kaunti ishatana. E anaka inaka ni shatna ni shatna ni emana ni shatna ni no nu jata ahan ti ina na ni shatna ni ma ni awa ni na na ya. And one more monakiero chatara ya kurata e wawi no pura chata te takrata e na te mushata.
How does
It
that
is
DNA look?
complete.
Very good. Very good. So let's take a look at the head and the eyes. And what do the ancestors say?
Are coming up from the earth. They are stepping out into the bright light.
Mm-hmm.
They are coming back into a form that supports
Yes.
instead of diminishes.
Mm-hmm.
Destructive patterns
Yes.
released
Mm-hmm.
and flow restored.
Very good. Thank you very much. And I'd like to know if there are any ancestors that are responsible for the fracturing of her own family of her feeling within herself. What is happening within her family that is causing this fracturing?
The full spectrum of love.
Mm-hmm.
Love in all forms.
Mm-hmm.
Addie. She is a grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Twice great.
Yes.
Her ability to find balance and understanding between the worlds, between the peoples, between belief systems
Mm-hmm.
of origin and indigenous. And connecting that into a world that was created on force just to survive.
Okay. Go deeper into that fractured soul and tell me, how old is she when this began, this fracturing? When did it happen?
Whoa, 20, earlier than 20.
All right, I'm going to count backwards. When I get to number 1, you'll be in that moment where it all happened. 3, 2, and 1. You're there now.
My people,
Mm-hmm.
they are all affected. No one is balanced. Everyone is, it's like a bomb went off and they're out of balance. They're out of sync.
Yes. What happens when everyone is out of sync? I want you to just feel it.
It's complete chaos, total confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Order broken.
Okay. So I'd like for the older version of Brenda to step in and stand behind the younger one and use your harmonizing, your balance to change the energy of that room, of all of those involved. Go ahead and do that now.
Naya Shakohar. Daira krata hina kekwa. Nehua midika. Dara takiesta, tana takia so ana. Tera kratahana te asa. Dura chatahana kitame e mamino ko. Dara krata hosana. Dina tikimanu.
What's happening to all of them?
What a very individual note.
Mhm.
In each individual is experiencing their own frame of reference to assimilate, understand, and release
Mhm.
on a broader spectrum. The whole chose to create this disharmony in order to come back to center. It just took a while.
Okay. So it was very similar to the ship burning.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So now that the ship has burned in that family, it's time to bring back the pieces. I want you to go ahead and find all of those shattered pieces and begin to center yourself one more time and feel that harmony going through your body.
Wow.
And as you harmonize, you might notice once again within you that boulder that you've been carrying of pain, of hurt, of betrayal. It's time to release that now. Tell me what you do with it.
It was reflecting the system's synchronization process,
Mm-hmm.
like like a stone in the gut is
Yes.
something like a you would describe a pearl.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the irritant.
This
Do
is
we need that any longer?
something that must go.
Release it now. I want you to go deep into that belly where you're holding that irritating stone and pluck it out.
Okay.
Very good. And now we need to replace that with something beautiful, something that could use some healing there. What would you like to put in that space rather than that irritating stone of
Light.
betrayal?
Light.
Beautiful. What color would you like to put in there?
White.
Beautiful. I'm going to sound a tuning fork and go ahead and fill that space with white light. Like a fire hose of light. Getting all of the irritants flushed out. Knowing that what happened in the past remains in the past. And from this moment on, you will face the future and all those that love you with a new light, with love, with peace, with serenity. And now that you no longer carry that irritant, you just see Ali coming towards you. And notice if he's noticed that you no longer carry that.
Mm. He notices.
Mm-hmm. So you could speak with him telepathically now. You could see the visions that are going through his mind. What does he say to you?
There's just stillness.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So,
There's
mm-hmm.
there's there's writing. There's yeah.
Ask him if it's okay to ride him now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and do that. And as you mount him, you could feel a difference in his demeanor too. What have you noticed?
Pattern recognition flow.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thinking in a symbiotic way.
Mm-hmm. Good. So let's ride him into that forest where your guide is once again there waiting for you.
Okay.
Tell me what happens.
Liliana is with me. We are bareback and walking through large trees and trails, and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is in perfect harmony.
Yes. Connect with that emotion of that perfect harmony.
It feels good.
Mm-hmm. I want you to just feel that whole body as it's now harmonized and energized. And the flow allows you to feel and know things that are ahead of you. What advice do you give Brenda moving forward?
The path is there. Just find your feet. Don't focus on anything else. Just know your feet. Know your ability and capacity. Everything will be fine. Everything will flow.
Mm-hmm. And what about her future move?
Huh. She has no idea. She will be very surprised, pleasantly
Very,
surprised.
very good. So she should keep that attitude of being surprised in the future and not worrying about today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And what is the reason why her guides have brought her to this session today? What was the main thing that they wanted to accomplish?
To release the energy that no longer serves. She is one of which has many things to do. And there is a consistent effort to get caught up in holding on to patterns that are outdated and void in this new energy. There has been a conflicting arrangement of understanding of her path as she is moving forward. And she keeps holding on to old manifests. It is time to manifest the new.
Mhm.
And the process to which that happens cannot be contained with old value system. The release is so much deeper than she recognizes. In order for her to reach this next phase, everything must be reworked in the present. The new value system is the first step to which it will emanate out to many, to the new, to the population at large, and many that are holding these codes, these numeric value systems, these new pattern arrangements, are filtrating through, allowing old concepts, old orders, old belief systems to move out. This can be a very difficult process when you've been embedded, ingrained, and supporting, holding the old. It is very frustrating, but the outcome has far-reaching effects to help those that are just waking up, to those that have been on the path for a while. These are gatekeeper codes as she assimilates and releases these old patterns. She will bring in these new codes that open and shine the light and the way for those to receive and assimilate in their way, so that they then open up and release to allow others. It just becomes this flow generation to generation, and we move back into this higher state of consciousness, this ascended form that we transcended from once and are ascending back into now.
Yes.
These forms will be felt by many in strategic and uncomfortable ways. The message for everyone is that no matter what your form, experience, understanding, and capacity to envelop those energies, your world will change. This is what is meant. Do not try to hold on to the form you've known. It is altering and ascending into the most beautiful, wonderful way. But if you hang on to the old, it will be a very challenging process, because ultimately you will come to understand that all must be reworked in all forms, in all ways, in all calibrations. The capacity to which you are operating now in a month, in a year, 5 years will be completely different. New abilities will come to your awareness, new exposure to others that have come to that awareness will help to calibrate you as you move forward. We are all in flow with each other, much like your pioneer efforts, Alba, in hypnosis and understanding soul form in its most authentic way. You have shed a light for others. For that, we thank you. Much like Brenda has been a tower, a beacon, it will continue to do so and emanate out into all that we know, all that you know. This has never been done before. We are finding ways to connect with you on so many levels, in so many ways that have not been felt or understood in this form. So don't hold on to what you think you know. The linear form concept understanding is just that, linear. To connect fully to your multidimensionality requires complete openness. Trust. Trust.
May I ask a little bit more about this form, about holding on to the form? Because it seems that the form is getting lighter in vibration, but some may think that perhaps the form needs to die in order to evolve. Can you explain a little bit about how we will be changing?
Ebb and flow, change and grow. If you look at this concept in the form of energy waves, frequencies, vibrations, this concept is much easier to quantify and conceptualize.
Mhm.
There is, in a way, ascension, transcendence, evolution. This waveform, as it is known in some will choose to not carry In that way, you would understand death. But death creates life, much like you compost for a garden, till the
Mhm.
earth. Those shifts in energy, the moving out of one, opens a space for the creation of a new. They may well choose to come back in the new form because they could not carry it in the old one. Everything is always transcending, always ascending, always evolving into the form that best suits the environment. So if you think something must die, in some respects, yes, but it is just moving, changing, evolving into the new form that suits it best. Nothing ever really dies.
There are
This,
many deaths going on right now, but there's also a lot of births with children who are very advanced.
yes, this is a glimpse, only a fractal of a glimpse into this form that is coming in anew. For this, we are so, what you would call, excited to know this form as it begins to anchor into your system. They are the way showers. Every belief system is up for a new way to see, an old way of being. This is the authentic form of multidimensionality, the form multi and dimensional is not just singularly based, it is multifaceted, multi-formed, multi-created, and multi-anchored, executed, connected. Dimensionality and multidimensionality, ality, the quality of something in its form. As you move into multidimensionality, you up level the quality of energy within those forms, the quantification process into a new state of awareness in its full capacity.
There's lots going on behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
For each individual, it is very important to know you are on your own journey within the whole, within the framework of everything, all things connected. But to focus on your journey, it is imperative to understand where you are and your navigation system as you move forward. It is imperative for you to simply find your feet on the path, focus on nothing more. Much like you hear the term, if you fly on an airplane, to put your oxygen mask on first. This is the simplest analogy we can find to help you form an understanding of what we are expressing. And as each individual connects back to their oneness, their understanding of their path, they realize they are the one, that everyone is the one, and that all things are connected. And that will help to clarify each individual expression in the one. For all spectrums matter, all forms matter, all understandings just are. And that is how you come into the expression of being.
One of the things that has always crossed my mind is that there are some people on Earth who are not connected at all. It's almost as if they were part of the background. Can you explain why that feels that way?
If we were to utilize the common expression of a matrix,
Mhm.
in the quantum understanding of a matrix, there are those forms, those codes that are there to create or enhance a spectrum. For you cannot have one side that you do not see the other. This is this realm's duality, a duality of expression. You will have one swing of the pendulum to the complete opposite end of the spectrum. One goes with the other. This helps you to understand the reference and understanding your complex nature, your awareness in all things. If one is meant to open up and quantify their expression, they will do so. If they don't, they are simply or merely a reference point in the framework and comprehension of what you understand a spectrum to be. Does this help?
Yes. So not everyone is going to wake up.
No.
Mhm. Okay. And we don't
And
need to worry about that.
they are not meant to.
Mm-hmm. They're like the landscape.
Yes.
Okay, good. Is there anything else that we need to work on today or express during this session, or do you feel that we are complete?
Give us a moment. It should be understood that much is happening behind the scenes in this body, in this population, in this cosmos, universe, expression of one. In whatever your framework of reference is to understanding this information, please know there are some exciting times ahead and expressions unknown are expressions yet to be lived. Each person's individuality is much like that color of a spectrum on the spectrum. You have yet to understand the full spectrum. So remain open and steadfast at the same time. You are always with support. You are always with guidance. And you are always held in the regard of love that you would see as that form and expression. And although the duality of your realm can be complex and at times confusing, your maintenance in yourself, vitality, environment, and physicality are what will bring more understanding and anchor in the codes that you need to find the realm that you chose to head. And for that, we are so grateful and excited because it is there that we will connect deeper, clearer, and more profoundly than ever understood before. This body
Very
is
good.
complete.
Mm-hmm.
And
And 5, wide awake, completely alert, feeling wonderful all over. Welcome back.
Wow.
Where'd you go?
Alba, that was trippy. Wow. Um, yeah, all the good places, I think.
That's amazing, huh?
That was, that
A
was
little bit different than last time?
a lot different. A lot.
How do you
Wow.
feel?
I feel good. I actually feel clearer. My body's still buzzing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
For someone who carries so many codes, it's like you were plugged in.
completely plugged in. My hands, I was holding my stones and my hands were just, yeah, at different times when the energies would come through, I just felt like I would uh, vibrate at different levels. And my whole body would just undulate and reciprocate to whatever they were trying to bring through.
Wow.
Yeah,
Do you
that
recall
was,
the last message? Were you there? Are you listening or what? Did you get the gist of it?
I think I got the gist of it.
Hmm.
Um, it's really interesting in hypnosis how you process what you are witnessing behind your eyelids, behind the energy. And sometimes I kind of felt like I was in alignment and in sync with how that energy was moving.
Yeah,
And other times I felt like I was sitting in the back of the room just as a distant observer
yeah.
and
That's
having
amazing.
another kind of experience simultaneously.
That's amazing.
So it
That's
was
wild.
beautiful and it was trippy and it's a lot to process, and I'm so grateful. So
It was
grateful.
a pleasure for sure. It was a
Yeah,
very, yeah. So, do you want to share this with others?
absolutely. Um, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was
Yeah,
amazing.
that was just what a gift. What a gift.
That's great. That's great.
What a gift.
So, since we're going to record this, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and you've had a session with me before.
Yes. So in 2019, uh, yeah, let me find which one I am right now. My name is Brenda Davis Matz. I'm currently located outside of Jackson, Wyoming, and who knows where I'll be in the coming future. Um, and I am an energy healer, um, artist, and I love being in the outdoors. I'm also a light language channel, and as you heard, and a Reiki master. And I feel like those energies are currently evolving and quantifying. So we'll see where they end up as well, where we're all headed.
Mhm.
But if you'd like to reach me, you could do that at brendadavismats.com. Yeah,
Excellent. Excellent.
yeah.
So, yeah, it was a beautiful session. It was really nice. It made a lot of sense.
Good. And I would like to comment on that. Some things to me which seemed a bit complex, as though I could not make sense of them.
Yeah,
But that's kind of the part where I felt like I was sitting in the back of the room and being guided. And,
yeah.
it's interesting with you and your sessions, I actually connect to names more often
Hmm.
than I do typically in my own work.
Interesting.
Hmm.
So you have a guy named
Ileana,
Eliana, and then you had the lifetime as Joshua,
Joshua.
who did not want to leave.
No, no. The responsibility in that life, it was
Yeah.
so anchored, embedded, and
Hmm.
such a gift to see him allow for something new, something different,
Hmm.
just to be.
Yeah. And
And I think
that's what made
control.
him, yeah.
Mm,
That's what got him to the next level was allowing the old ways to change. And I think that's where you are right now. You're right at that moment where things are going to be changing for you,
mm,
seems.
in every way.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Native American who was carrying that heaviness of I failed. I failed everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah. Got rid of that.
very much so. but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like his energy is what I connect to when I'm out in the backcountry, in the mountains,
Mm-hmm.
in nature.
But you also had that little seed of I failed when you fell off your horse,
Yeah, yeah. That was an
which
interesting connection. And then to
which
watch Ollie.
it accentuated it because it's like here you are, you know, uh, and of course for those watching, this was not something that happened in a session. This is what happened in real life is that you fell off your horse and you've had a disconnect there
Yes. And it,
because of the fear
yes. And
of
actually, just to clarify, for those of you that might be listening that are equestrians, this was a Mustang who had been gentled, and which is another term for a type of training, allowing them to understand, that our human connections with them and communication type. And we both just connected back in that moment to our um, fight or flight. And I think we both had flight.
yeah.
And neither one of us knew how to adjust and move forward. So I can't wait to go out and see him.
It's fantastic. So I really enjoyed this session myself. I thought it was really good. And for those of you who want to get a session with me, just go to my website, albaweinman.com, and there you will find a link under the hypnosis tab to sign up for my newsletter. It comes out once a month. And if I have sessions, I'll put a link there and you'll get the appointment. That's how Brenda got hers. This is your second session. The other one was in 2019, so that was a long time ago.
And I
That was
haven't had a migraine since. I just want to say that
Oh, look
publicly.
at that.
That's, yeah,
So it works. It works. So
it
now we're
does
going to
work.
see how your vision uh, works now and your dynamics with your family. See how that goes.
Mm, definitely. Alba,
Yeah.
thank you so
Oh,
much.
you're welcome. So thank you all for watching. Until the next one, much love to you. Bye bye.